Locked, but I can hear someone in there breathing pretty heavily. I feel a draft. There's someone... Oh, it's a pretty orchid grow. The inflatable guy's valve fits right in the hole. Be gone with you. Locked, but I can hear someone in there breathing pretty heavily. I think it's fully automatic.
Larry, I pulled something else from Swingle's file for you.
And?
The Marquis de Carnard, who tried to kill the others from the Unsatisfied, there's conflicting information. Either he went crazy and tried to throw himself into the volcano with the keystone, or Cockburn tried to kill him there. Either way, the Marquis disappeared with his stone somewhere on or inside the volcano.
Okay, maybe we can find something. Hello. Nice outfit.
Who cares?
What?
As long as there's nothing hanging in the way. Try climbing when things are dangling off you everywhere.
Finally, a good reason for scanty clothing. I'm Larry. Larry Laffer.
And I'm Nora.
Do you climb professionally?
You could say that. I just turned my hobby into my profession.
Mountain climber?
Biologist.
What does that have to do with climbing?
How the hell else am I supposed to get to the critters I'm investigating? Some of them are really fast and agile. Besides, I like the athletic challenge.
Good for the abs.
Unfortunately, I often miss my grip and fall.
Oh. What's your favorite animal?
Cats.
What? Just cats? I would have expected some totally exotic animal.
I don't like to take work home with me.
Good point. I'd like to get up to the top of that volcano.
Why would you want to go up there?
I'm looking for a stone from one of the founding fathers.
Which founding fathers?
The ones who discovered this archipelago.
Rocks are boring. I'd love to help you get up there, but I can't do it without my climbing gear.
There's supposed to be a dead marquis here somewhere. Did you see one?
No, I'm only interested in pod geckos.
In what?
The archipelago is home to many rare species, but one is truly unique, and it can only survive on the edges of a volcano. The long-tailed pod gecko. If only I could observe one. Unfortunately, some of my climbing equipment is missing. My sister Dora must have taken it by mistake.
Where can I find your sister, then?
Oh, I have no idea where the hell she is now. She usually doesn't know herself. She's always totally overbooked. She said something about looking for a certain plant. What was it called again? Something with V.
Vamp strap ironer.
No, that wasn't it. Wait a minute. I remember now. Vagina dentata.
I think I'll just bite my tongue. Nice name for a plant.
I'm not a plant person myself. It's an orchid that only grows in one place in the archipelago. It's extremely rare and has been growing here for centuries. But like I said, I don't know anything about that stuff.
Larry, there's a passage in Swingle's file that mentions that plant. Apparently, the Marquis was looking for this plant because it's believed to have sexual magical powers.
If the Marquis was there, maybe there's a clue to the keystone. Do you know any more precisely where it is?
The location is in the jungle on Gafuku Island, and I have detailed directions on how to get there. We have to go to a very specific clearing.
Then let's get a move on.
And when you get there, bring my climbing gear, will you please? And give my love to Dora.
Have to run. Practical. No, my mom always told me never to... The mouth of the volcano can't be... That's the information he collected, and he drew penises all around the edges. I have to connect something to it that needs electricity. Those two... That's fun. Good idea. That won't help.
Hey,
What's up?
do you have any idea what happened to all that junk I collected?
Junk? What junk?
The junk that was hanging on that hook.
The raft-shaped junk?
The junk-shaped junk.
I, recycled it for you. Isn't that great? Anything for the planet. So how's that bird doing now?
I had to scrub it for hours to get the oil out of his feathers. But I did it.
Great news!
I set him free in the jungle, even in a spot where there was a female close by. But as soon as he saw it, he panicked and ran in the opposite direction.
That's weird. What a strange bird. Another animal in distress somewhere?
Not at the moment. Would you help me if the alarm went off somewhere?
Sorry, I have a lot of animals to take care of myself.
That's definitely a good reason.
Once you're done at Kahlua, where will you go from here?
I don't know yet. I go where I'm needed. There are still enough people in this world who go through life without thinking about others, always throwing things away, tipping them over, breaking them, stealing them.
Sometimes there's just no other way.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. See you later. The crocodile provides perfect protection for one side of my raft. Aesthetically, this may not be the best shock protection, but as long as it works. Better not.
Larry, Swingle had also collected some interesting information about this island.
I have to admit, I am curious.
Gofuku Island holds traces of a lost civilization. Swingle suspected that this cavern of cosmic cognition is located here somewhere.
Good to know.
However, this is also the island with all the death traps left behind by an ancient civilization.
Oh. I can see something through the hole. Maybe you can even eat it.
And maybe you'll start to glow from within.
I wouldn't mind. It's a pretty orchid growing there.
But we can't get away from here.
I know. I feel the same way you do, in case you haven't noticed. But we can't just play LARP anyway.
And how are we supposed to do that without a game master?
We just make it up ourselves?
Have you ever made anything up yourself?
No. But being a game master can't be that hard.
You also said making a computer game wasn't hard.
Hey, and nobody told me you need an engine for that. And it was the publisher's fault anyway.
We didn't have one.
But they would have screwed everything up if we had found one.
Whatever. We need a game master. And game masters don't just fall from the heavens. Besides, can't even enter the ruins.
We could play right here.
No, there's not enough atmosphere.
You know what? I've had enough. Yeah, we're out of here.
Hey, what are you two doing here? Are you selling pie bones in the jungle now? And did they make you wear those clothes?
Oh, damn, Finley. It's that weirdo from New Lost Wages.
Don't move, Kyle. Maybe he won't notice us.
I'm already talking to you.
Damn, it didn't work.
What are you doing here on the island?
We came here for the Galactic Festival. It was supposed to be a one-of-a-kind event. Galactic creatures, lots of action and music. They promised that nothing would be impossible.
And women.
Yeah, loads of stars were supposed to be here.
They weren't.
Total flop. No stars. We almost drowned.
And then there was the storm.
All a total waste. But we found a few like-minded people here and we thought, huh, let's do a LARP.
I know my way around LARPs.
Well, of course, it's pretty obvious that you're doing one of your own about that old dance film.
How does that LARP thing of yours work?
We experience the wildest adventures in a world of fantasy. Each of us slips into a role, and the game master tells us what we experience.
That's it?
It's harder than it sounds.
A game master has to know exactly what they're doing.
Otherwise, it gets really boring.
Hey, I could be your game master.
Who? You?
You don't look the type.
You have no idea just how much imagination I really have.
You just have to have enough for each of us here.
Of course.
But we also want to play in a location that's just perfect for us.
What do you have in mind?
We want to be heroes and tackle deadly traps.
The more dangerous, the better.
You know anywhere like that?
I have to find the perfect location for the LARP first.
Well, let us know when you find it.
Have you seen a book of bad jokes around here anywhere?
Joe, we took one of those from the festival. A role-playing book went missing there. It sucks.
Can I have it?
Sure, we threw it away.
Threw it away where?
Somewhere out there, outside the cave.
Okay. How come there aren't any women in your LARP?
They're just not interested in that sort of thing.
None of them wanted us to save them. We would have chained them up so nicely. They wouldn't even have had to say anything. Just sit there and look pretty. Like that was too much to ask.
Now, we have to leave it all to our imaginations.
Oh, I had to handle it that way myself when I was young.
I'm 29.
I have to get going. Candles always come in. Especially good. How useful. Hey, Smokey Bear, you're here too.
Larry Laffer. Red shirt, this is the man I was telling you about, who opened my eyes to the great truth.
Oh, it's an honor. I hope I too may experience an awakening like that.
Who calls their kid Red Shirt?
We didn't want to bother to think one up first, and then have him drop dead anyway.
What?
That's what those two guys over there said. I have no idea what they meant either.
But I'm an important member of the crew. We agreed on that.
I don't understand any of this, but those two seem to know what they're talking about.
My real name is Captain Dickhard.
Whatever. Anyway, we're here for a LARP.
What have you been up to, Smokey?
Not so loud. They have microphones everywhere. If I'm not careful, they'll track me down again.
Oh, right.
I had to leave New Lost Wages in a hurry because they picked up my scent. They were everywhere. The man on the bus who kept looking at me, the ticket machine was watching me, and then there was this cat. It was in league with them. I then went to Louisiana for a conference on the secret world conspiracy. That's where I learned so many more hidden truths. 111. That's where I also received a flyer for a galactic festival here on this island. There were supposed to be lectures about the aliens who landed here a long time ago and founded a high culture. Supposedly, they hid their profound knowledge about mankind here, a place where you can discover the final insight into yourself.
I heard about that, too.
That's what I'm saying. There must be something to it. Anyway, the festival was a disaster. I don't know who organized it, but nothing worked. But at least I met these other folks who are organizing a LARP. Don't tell them. But I think they actually believe it's just a game. And that's when it's the path to true self-discovery.
What's supposed to happen in this LARP?
I want to find traces of an ancient civilization. They could be behind the current conspiracy.
And I expect an interstellar adventure. Alien races with whom we can live in peace. A real step forward for mankind. Wisdom and peace.
Earlier, you said something about wanting to kick some alien ass.
For purely dramaturgical reasons, of course. Besides, I'd really like to experience a fistfight against a lizard man where he shreds my shirt and everyone sees my muscles.
Lizard man, where? I never should have thrown my old tinfoil hat in the trash. This new one is crap.
Of course, it can't be a first contact because that would require following a different directive.
Where are the lizard men?
Easy, Smokey, easy. I haven't seen any.
That only means that they're well hidden.
But without a game master, nothing's gonna happen. Those two bozos over there know exactly how this should work.
I could be your game master.
You think this is something for you?
Oh, let him give it a try. As long as I can fight Lizard Man. But we also need the perfect setting. Did you find something?
I have... Whoop. See... I can't change. They look pretty old. The light shines here. On this... Hi, I'm Larry. Larry Laffer. And you look like... a brain surgeon.
What? What on earth gave you that idea? I'm a janitor.
Now, that would have been my next guess.
I'm Will Comply.
Interesting name you have there.
You can thank my parents for that.
What were their names?
Reese and Eve.
And in this LARP, you are what?
An intergalactic janitor, of course.
Isn't that a little unimaginative? Isn't a LARP about slipping into completely different roles?
But why should I completely abandon my innate abilities? Besides, a mop is a weapon not to be underestimated. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of cleaning equipment.
I have been to a lot of places, but it wasn't until I arrived on this island that I truly understood the word special.
What?
Don't listen to her. She has a problem with men like us who have extraordinary gifts. So what do you do as a janitor?
You know, cleaning services.
Do you work at a school or something?
No way! I'm a freelance janitor. If the dirt gets bad and you just don't know, who you gonna call?
You?
You know it. Will Comply gets everything clean. I can yell at school children, tenants, or employers too if that's what the client wants. Costs extra though.
As game master, I can offer you a great story.
Really? Can I clean up in there too? Really? The best would be if it takes place in a filthy dump where I have to make a heroic effort to clean up. Is there anywhere like that around here?
Huh?
Good.
Oh. I know the way through. Ah, here's the path the Marquis described. I'm supposed to bring Nora, her client.
I'll take it back to her once the
Hey, would you be Dora?
Who wants to know?
I do.
I mean, who are you?
Larry. Larry Laffer.
And how does that help me?
I don't know. You asked.
I give up.
Don't worry, you get used to him.
Your sister says to say hi.
Thanks. Did she fall off something again?
No, but she's preparing to climb the volcano.
I sure hope that doesn't turn into a train wreck.
Have you seen a gold stone or a dead marquee lying around here anywhere?
No, I probably would have noticed both of those things.
Too bad. What are you doing here?
Actually, I came here to examine the ruins. They're one of my specialities. I more or less fell into it.
Into the job?
No, I was on vacation in South America when I got separated from my group and fell into a pit. Landed right on top of this gold statue. Man, it hurt. Then I was constantly on TV and everyone said I was an explorer specialized in some sort of tombs. And since I had nothing better to do, I thought I'd just travel around and see if I could find some more.
Any luck?
Not so far, but that statue made me rich, so it doesn't matter.
Wow, good for you.
I'm concentrating on plants now. They don't hurt as much when you fall on them.
Looks like falling seems to run in your family. I'm supposed to bring
Yeah, I must have taken... I'm such a mess sometimes. I'll take it back to her once the orchid is bloomed.
Is that the Vagina dentata? Maybe I can help you get it to blossom.
Oh, you've heard of it. Yeah, it is. Don't you dare touch it. It's very sensitive and only the most empathetic and sensitive people should approach it. Otherwise, it will never bloom. And if it does, I want to be there to see it happen.
I'm totally empathic.
I'm not so sure about that yet.
Maybe I can help you to get that orchid to bloom.
That would be a magical moment. But only absolute experts should be present for that. Like me. And you don't look the type.
But I know a lot about flowers. And bees.
Oh, yeah? Okay, then. There are many different orchids in the archipelago, but they are all extremely poisonous except for one species. You can bring me one of those, can't you?
Of course.
I'm sure you also know that all the others are deadly. Just the slightest skin contact will kill you.
Where exactly does it grow again?
If you know so much about orchids,
How's your relationship with your sister?
we actually get along quite well, although there is a bit of rivalry. After all, we work in similar fields. I think she could be a little more relaxed. She's always looking for the next big challenge. She should stop and smell the flowers along the way.
Like you.
Exactly.
See? The stone disc the stone now it looks like all the discs. The socket's secure now. An ancient device. A thick maybe those guys do the that must be Lewis's joke book. Holy smokes, these jokes are even older than I am. An information brochure about the island. Here are some boring facts about the archipelago's history. Lots of nice photos that seem to be pretty old. And a rare, highly bioluminescent fungus, which greatly reduces the heart rate when you eat it, grows somewhere here in the archipelago. It seems the orchids here are all pretty poisonous. Only one species, with a single blue flower and pointed leaves, doesn't kill you the moment you touch it. I don't even want to know what kind of dangerous animals they have here. That's the information he collected, and he drew penises all around the edges. That's fine, that's fine. Well, it's ready to put to sea again. That's fine, just... It's a pretty orchid growing. I think it's enough when one pig has... It's a